Benny's a... Venture team, assemble! Oh. Oh. Or not. Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
Ah, the Demoiselle of Spina de Rosula. I must say, your generous patronage is the one thing keeping me from going bankrupt.
Nonsense. We all know what a talented businesswoman you are. No, and don't forget, she's the boss now.
My mistake, my mistake. I just got so used to calling her Demoiselle. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
I didn't expect Demoiselle to come and pick it up in person. It's just a uniform after all. Any of your folks could have come instead.
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. We mostly just needed a walk to clear our heads. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has got a point. Going on a trip with friends is always better than staying cooped up at home.
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve the uniform for you.
Can someone remind Paimon again why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. All she says is that she really looks up to me. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. It's probably because she now knows for sure that her father was never a bad person. She said she used to be terrified of Papa, so as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well. But the Spina is very different now. She mustered up the courage to talk to me, and felt like I could really understand her. Yeah, you could say that. By uncovering the truth about the case, I was able to give her closure at the same time. She said that she wanted to become someone like me. Someone who could lend a hand to others, instead of standing still and waiting for others to help her.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
Is something up, Traveler? Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Paimon saw them too! They headed up!
Stop right there!
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to talk, we're gonna need to teach them a lesson first.
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark anymore. Let's take them out!
Feeling lucky? Hip. This one's got your name on it. Hip. A proper send-off from the Spina with love. Now, talk. Who are you? And why were you tailing us?
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
How did it go, boss? Are any of you hurt?
If you thought they stood any chance against us, you were sorely mistaken. Anyway, stop playing tough and start talking. There won't be any room for negotiation once the Maison Gardiennage gets involved.
We're looking to get vengeance on Spina di Rosula. We were discovered, and can't beat you in a fight. We admit it. We lost.
Get revenge? Wait, you're not Romeu's followers, are you?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should understand why we hate you so much!
Indeed. You haven't got the faintest hope of winning right now.
We were out drinking when we saw Navia. We got so angry we decided to follow you guys and look for an opportunity to really mess up your day. Too bad you guys messed up ours first. Huh? You're pretty sharp, but so what? We didn't do anything. And now it should be pretty obvious that we can't do anything to you anyway. Seeing you like that just really ticked us off. And we let the drink go to our heads.
Listen, Callus is long dead. No matter what happened in the past, I want to be able to start things anew. I am the current president of Spina di Rosula. If your boss wants to talk with me, I'd be happy to meet with him. I won't press charges for your attack. That should also help demonstrate my sincerity.
I understand. Thank you. I'll let our boss know.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again, I won't be so lenient next time. Understood?
All right. We get it. Come on, let's go.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges, too. Moreover, when it comes to the Aquabus, I don't think what my father did was entirely correct either. If the other side is willing to talk, I'm happy to open the door for a reconciliation. Opportunities for new beginnings are all around us.
I support Boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a primitive practice that has no place in today's Spina di Rosula.
Yes. Plus, we already know that they're strapped for cash. If their financial situation is that dire, they don't have what it takes to challenge us. So this may be the best time to talk. I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeu's folks, though. If he decides to ignore the warning I gave his men, then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
I'd rather things not go that far, since, though we haven't talked to each other for years, once upon a time we were all a part of the Spina di Rosula family.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. Anyway, now that we've sent them packing, we don't have to worry about those guys anymore. It's getting late already, so why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? We can head back to Poisson tomorrow. I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today, so he can increase security around Poisson and be on guard against any suspicious individuals.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Sonda again? Even the pillows there smell like seaweed.
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't get much sunlight. Poisson's pretty much the same, though, so I've long since gotten used to it. We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks, though. Bet you there'll be people singing sea shanties, too. How does that sound?
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Okay, Paimon's on board now. Let's go. Paimon wants to sing too.
Welcome to Chioria Boutique.
Ready and waiting.
What shall we do?
Coming back here really does feel like this place is starting to grow on Paimon. If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the court was some super luxurious building like the Palais Mermonia.
Totally. Right on the money, Paimon. Although, of course, with the continued growth of the Spina, Papa wanted Poisson to eventually grow into a metropolis, not unlike the court. He was a very ambitious man, who rarely looked behind or beneath him. For better or worse, that always made him stand out from the crowd.
And that's also why people hated him just as much as they loved him.
All right. Why don't you go wait for me at the restaurant? I'll go do some prep, and I'll get someone to tidy up your room while I'm at it. You can use the same room as last time. You still remember the room number, yeah?
Yep. Kinda hard to forget when there are only so many rooms here after all.
Oh, did I just hear someone taking a dig at Fleuve Sandra? I'll tell my guys to stuff your pillows full of actual seaweed right now.
Oh, Paimon, sorry! Please have mercy, Navia. If you do that, then Paimon really won't be able to sleep at all.
I was just kidding. Be on your way now.
Guess I'm finally on the right path.
Hello? Are you asleep yet? Oh, no, not at all. I just figured that since we don't get to enjoy nights like these very often, we should try to enjoy it to the fullest. Wanna go fishing? I've got some rods and lures ready.
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about. Sure, we'll come.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything. I knew it. You really are my best partner. Okay, let's go. To the fishing spot.
Let's light it up!
Quake!
Fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod.
What's the problem? Lots of people in Poisson use rods like these.
But shouldn't fishing be all about, attentively watching the float and then excitedly reeling in the catch when you finally hook something?
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler? Then, let's try regular rods next time. We can have a real fishing competition.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how much energy you still have at this hour. Usually by this time of night, it's a struggle for Paimon to even keep her eyes open.
Huh. It might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. Anyway, I was just thinking about how grateful I am to my mother, as well as the rest of the Spina. My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But the more that he tried to get me to become like him, the less I wanted to listen to what he had to say. My mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. I've heard that she had only one wish for me, which was that I would have a happy and secure childhood. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish, so no matter what I did as a child, they were happy to humor me. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows and just stand silently and listen to him rant. Malouse and Silver were always there, too. No matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word. Eventually, Papa must have recognized scolding me over trivial matters was pointless, because he eventually stopped getting on my case so often.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah. Looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. When I was young, I often thought that I could do whatever I wanted, because there'd always be someone there to clean up after me. But once, I saw Malouse come back wounded. He wouldn't tell me how he'd been injured, but I could tell it had something to do with me. I learned then that there's always a cost to making a mistake. The more you care about those around you, the more you should care about doing the right thing to the best of your abilities. Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes. Sorry. Sorry. I shouldn't have brought that up. I wasn't planning to talk about sad things tonight. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina must have been my mother's legacy, rather than my father's. And if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistakes of the past. I want to be reasonable, at least. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't the rod automatically reeling it in?
Oh, there must be something wrong with how I installed the mechanism. It was my first time putting one of those rods together. We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's catch it.
You want Paimon to help too? You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure. Oh, never mind. Paimon really can't keep her eyes open anymore.
All right, go to bed. I had a great time today. See you tomorrow. So how was last night? Did you get a good night's sleep?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars, so you could say it was stellar. Get it?
Huh.
I didn't know you had such a great sense of humor.
See? This guy gets it!
Anyway, let's head out. I'll arrange for a boat to take us back to Poisson. I'm sure Adele will be happy to see you two again.
Paimon hopes she'll really appreciate your gift.
I hope so too. Off we go! Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss!
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele? Just Miss Navia would be fine.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind. Besides the gift, I've also got another surprise. Guess who's here?
It's been a while!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. Thank you so much for your help on Jacques' case. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine. You're truly just like the great heroes of legend.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navia's your friend, then she must be super amazing too! What's in this thing? Can I look?
Of course. Go ahead.
Oh, uniform! Is it for me? But isn't it a bit big?
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. Being a member means becoming involved in all kinds of dangerous situations. And since you're still young, I don't want your mom to have to worry about your safety. So I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older. But this uniform is a promise that you can join us once you're old enough to wear it.
Oh, so that's it! Well, thank you so much, Miss Navia. I'll work hard and grow up as fast as I can.
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard. You've got to be patient.
Everyone, I'm really grateful that you remembered my daughter's wish and took it seriously. Thanks to the protection of the Spina, even though her father's no longer with us, we've still felt plenty of warmth and security.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even if you're not an official member, you're still part of the family.
Boss!
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report. Romeu and his folks have gathered outside Poisson and even shipped in a huge pile of explosives.
What? Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating as soon as we received your letter yesterday. But Romeu and his folks must have gotten wind as well, because they abandoned their former posts before we could even check on them. We investigated their tracks and found out that they're after Poisson.
They have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talking at all. We should have gone straight to the Maison Gardiennage.
Sorry, I underestimated the situation. Well, too late now, I suppose. Florent, where are they keeping their explosives?
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine line.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeu and his followers hate the Spina and everything to do with Callus. And the Aquabus was the source of their contention. If they manage to blow up the Aquabus line, all that rubble will come crashing down the hill and straight into Poisson.
Are they insane? There's tons of innocent people in Poisson!
Yeah. If they've been planning this for ages, they're definitely not going to let this opportunity slip by. We have to issue an evacuation order to the townspeople and get them as far away from the entrance as possible. That should save them from the worst of it.
Let's get everyone onto our ship. That should be the safest place.
My dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line to you? If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger, any aquabuses using the line would plummet to the ground. Let's stop their insanity first, then settle the score with them.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe, too.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Watch out, boss! What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left, but I still couldn't get rid of you.
You mean this was all a trick? So that you'd be left alone with me? Oh. I get it now. You knew about their plans all along. You only told us they were doing badly so that we'd drop our guard.
Not quite. Though I share their positions on some issues, I've never cared for his more radical ideas. And that's because, out of the entire Spina di Rosula, I only hate you. Only you, Navia.
You better stick close to me.
Romeu promised me that he would leave Poisson alone if I could just take you out. But it was like you were glued at the hip to that pesky traveler. You never gave me a chance to make my move. Romeu has lost his patience. I didn't have to be here today, you know. But I swore that I'd kill you, even if it meant being buried with you in the rubble.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the past as you would ask such a foolish question. You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, nor did you ever live through the golden age of Poisson. But I saw it all with my own eyes, and then I had to watch it all die, little by little. And it was all because of you, Navia. Clementine died because of you. Callus died because of you. Malus and Silver died because of you. And so many more dead. Everyone dead, all because of you.
So the shock and grief you showed us before, that was in Act 2?
Now you're catching on. I heard Malus was dead the moment I got out. Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time thinking about what happened, and resolving to apologize to Malus as soon as I got out. Back then, because of that aquabus, we had a huge fallout. I was convinced that all he cared about was loyalty, and that he had completely lost his capacity for critical thinking. The years passed by in a blur after that. I thought I had finally begun to understand him, and that he could help me relive the good old days again. But then he died, and it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you. I once loved the Spina and Poisson more than anyone else. But what is left now of either besides death and ruin? You've single-handedly destroyed everything that was beautiful. Everything I've ever loved.
Don't listen to him, boss! He's just spouting nonsense!
Have you ever considered that maybe the people around you don't actually care about you at all? Have you ever considered that maybe you only get respect because you're Callus and Clementine's child? That you've never done anything worthy? That you're just a big nothing? Have you ever considered that maybe people don't stay in Poisson because of you, but only because they have such beautiful memories of the past before you came?
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll have to face the consequences. And when that time comes, those most precious to you really will throw themselves in front of you and pay the price for your mistakes. Yeah, looking back on it now as an adult, I can hardly believe how patient and kind everyone was. But is that really why they support me? Is their kindness real?
Shut your mouth! I, for one, really like Miss Navia. And my mom loves her, too. I don't know how to explain it, but I like her. And that's that.
I'm sure Mr. Malus would be extremely disappointed in you right now. You've somehow managed to pin the blame for every mistake and tragedy in our history on the boss herself.
Get out of the way, Florent. I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna have to. Boss, there's no time for this. Stop hesitating and get out of here before you get buried.
Maybe you think you're being the realist by painting the history of the Spina and Poisson like this. But the love that I felt from everyone was just as real. I felt it. They've helped me get to where I am. And even now, I will continue to believe in that love. So let me show you just how much I love the Spina di Rosula. This one's got your name on it. Huzzah! What's your... Umbrella warfare, I guess. Attack! That's the way. Feeling lucky? Ha! 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 Hiya! Florent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, subdue them quickly, and don't give them the chance to harm any ordinary civilians. I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line alone.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know, but I have to go.
Let's hurry up there. We have to protect the Clementine line. If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
Follow everyone on me!
Huh? Yeah, I'm going in! Delicate as silk.
Advance!
Gather! Order guide you.
Get out of here! Everybody stand back!
Yeah!
They certainly brought a lot of muscle. They're really slowing us down. But if we're meeting resistance, we must be heading in the right direction.
Out of the way!
Stabilize!
Off we go! Yeah! I'm going in!
Rally!
I am the cutting edge of fashion.
These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. How can we disable it? Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff. Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for? Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Maybe one of the people we just beat up has the key. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's see what we can find. Let me turn this guy over. Ugh, he's super heavy. He could probably eat a whole Paimon just for breakfast. Oh, you found it! That's amazing! That should do it, right? Navi and Florent should be able to relax now. Oh, you're right. They could have set explosives elsewhere, too. Let's go. They're gonna bury Poisson!
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block? I'm doing this the Spina way.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Rosula. Do you plan to settle this privately with them?
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, anyone who's willing to endanger innocent civilians is no longer sane enough to even be worth trying to talk to. Please prosecute them in accordance to the law. Spina di Rosula will not raise any objections.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been far worse. All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone! And you were so cool!
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time. It's probably because I expended too much elemental energy at once. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me.
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you. Paimon's not used to seeing you like this.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the town. The Maison Gardiennage is taking them away as well. Seems like Romeo really went all in on this mission. If he sent literally everyone he had, though, that also means we've caught them all, too. We won't have to worry about them from now on.
Got it. That's good, at least. Coulter, I can understand how you feel. The things that we lost, they're forever beyond our grasp now. And that makes them appear even more precious. I am not Callus, and I will also never become him. The Spina and the Poisson that you loved are both gone. But I will not change how I feel about our future. I still believe that this is a great opportunity to start anew. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of Poisson. What's more, I'd also like to propose some changes to the Aquabus routes, so that one day, the people of Poisson will enjoy the boons it brings as well.
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus would never have said anything like that. There are too many things in life that are just beyond our control. In that, we are the same.
Henceforth, you are no longer a member of Spina di Rosula. But once you're discharged from the fortress again, you're welcome to pay another visit to Poisson.
Thank you, Navia.
As I thought. Boss really is a kind and gentle person.
She is also, I must say, a truly unlucky person. Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, I wouldn't know how to live with myself. A name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. Losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day, would be like losing my mother all over again. Seeing it still standing there, tall and proud, it makes me really happy.
What happened while we were gone? Honestly, you look more upset than tired or anything.
Just give her some time.
Thank you so much. Can you give me a hand? I really don't have much strength left. Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth. Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
How do you feel, Navia? Any better after taking a break?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably still rest for a few more days. Sorry, Partner, I said some weird things earlier. Feel free to just ignore me. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. But you could say I've discovered that I'm not as strong as I thought I was. Coulter mentioned my parents, as well as Malus and Silver. It's all thanks to them that I've made it this far in life. Do you think they ever regretted the choices they made? Has my existence made this world a better place?
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up like this, I suppose it's time for me to make a confession as well. There's something that I've been keeping from you as well, boss. Please, follow me. Everything is already prepared.
Florent, I hope you can understand that I can't deal with any more shocking revelations right now.
Don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
Just what will we come across this time?
Time to broaden our horizons again. I knew you'd miss me.
I got you, boss.
Take heart. Victory will be ours.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's this?
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished, but special times call for special measures. I've never seen you look so defeated before, so I've decided to show you the designs before the final product was done.
Do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
This is... Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records. as well as personal recollections from members of Vespina.
Wow! This is the statue you mentioned before?
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and gave the sculptor permission to begin working. We only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callus and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young, we've all seen the work she's put in regarding the whole synth business and the rebuilding of Poisson.
We wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
With Navia around, we're not worried about this place's future.
We're gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly. I believe everyone is here for you, not the glory days.
That's what we believe as well!
Thank you so much, everyone. Then I'll be brave and just accept everyone's support for what it is. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not even in my wildest dreams. It seems like I started to question myself a bit too much. I'll pick myself up again and become a more reliable president for all of you. Looking back on it, I'm honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier. I'm sure everyone longs for that one thing in life that seems trivial to others, but they themselves can never obtain. To me, that would be a family portrait. I've always been super jealous of other people's family photos. I've never thought I'd receive a family portrait of my own. Especially not like this. It seems like I'm not such an unlucky person after all.
Illuminate!
Let's get it on!
Sharing my knowledge.
Propagate! Yeah. Yeah.
Hold the line.
You're dead meat! Winter, shall we venture?
Yeah!
Spring forth!
Buckle up!
The Temple of Wisdom.
Propagate!
I see everything. Make yourselves at home.
Scatter!
Look alive!
Everyone hold hands.
Gloves off! Let's get it on!
Ad Astra. Thank you for.
Time for afternoon tea.
At your command.
I have high hopes for this journey.
We're back.
You were gone for an awfully long time. Oh, please tell me nothing bad happened.
There's nothing to worry about.
All you need to know is that you'll never have to worry about someone in Fontaine messing with your deliveries again.
Sorry, Chiori. I didn't mean to cause you so much trouble.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. Those greedy bandits are to blame, along with a certain someone who doesn't know when to lay off the petty tricks. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way, and the Spina di Rosula can take the second half. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods. Unless, of course, it's to offer to carry them for you.
Good one, Chiori.
I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal. You're going back to Inazuma tomorrow, right?
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training tomorrow. As for Navia, I'll give her a heads up in a bit.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards. Or ones with sunglasses, for that matter. Don't you think this is a bit much?
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It's just a one-off thing, for my own peace of mind. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends. Yes, well put.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, Traveler, then I guess it's fine.
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be good to go for Fontaine Fashion Week, right?
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days. I've heard a lot of suppliers will be participating this year.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say suppliers are super important.
But of course. They supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. You have to work with them if you want to become a truly renowned fashion house. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori? Your clothes are so pretty and so nice to wear. I can't help but brag about them to my customers whenever I get the chance.
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chiori brand, yes?
Well... I mean, with the amount of places that I deliver to, it's only natural that some people from other nations haven't heard of it.
Then it's still not famous enough. My goal is to make the Chiori brand renowned throughout all of Teyvat.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then.
Wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chiori branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed? It has been pretty inconvenient having to come to Fontaine every time I need to get them patched up.
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them. They're already about as durable as I can make them.
Okay, I'll admit, they do get snagged on branches pretty often, but I can't help it. It's hard to be careful about that sort of thing when you're trying to take a nice nap in a tree.
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality. Is there anything we can do to help out with Fashion Week?
I'm sure I could think of something.
Ooh, what is it? What is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me? Simply put, you'll serve as my living mannequins.
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes? Got it!
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some small adjustments to the stitching and the silhouette of the designs.
Sounds easy enough.
No need. We've already booked the models for that. If you like them, though, feel free to visit the boutique and see if anything catches your eye. I'll even give you a special discount.
Ooh, sounds great! Paimon was just starting to get curious about all this design stuff.
Then we have a deal. You'll model some formal wear, Traveler, and... I don't know. Paimon here will show off some kids' designs. I'll see you both tomorrow, then.
Yep, sounds good. Wait, kids' clothes? Paimon told you already she's not a little kid!
It's coming up. Oh, my husband promised to get me a replica replica of the most eye-catching outfit from the show.
Speaking of clothes, do yours happen to need any mending right now, Kirara?
Well, since you asked, Chiori, there's this part around my waist.
Oh, need a bit of letting out around the middle.
No! It's a tear. Those bad guys did it.
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Wait, has Kirara left already?
Yep, with the special patrol. Bright and early.
Did everything go all right on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara. An excellent souvenir to remember Fontaine by, I'd say.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't have time to prepare something even fancier. I'm pretty sure she can't wait for another escort opportunity to come her way.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar. You say what you mean, and when you have an idea, you really hit the ground running.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. No matter what comes her way, she never bows down in the face of adversity. That sort of determination and courage is something I really admire. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit from my boutique, well, I'm sure you can imagine my excitement.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also to the figures in society who wear said clothes. People like to copy the styles of those they look up to.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered was for the clothes to look cute.
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Especially if you've got your sights set on a market the size of that. Well, would you look at the time?
Oh yeah! Come on, let's get down to business! We're here to model!
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and sample outfits. Why don't you help me set up the shop displays in the meantime?
Set them up? How exactly?
Just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles. This way, we can guarantee that the customers will see something different every day.
Whoa, there sure is a lot that goes into running a store.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Not bad. You might just have an eye for design. Anyway, let's move on to the real task at hand. Over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been recently?
Not too bad.
Your gown will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball. Or did you come here today because you'd like to make a new request, perhaps?
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Chiori. To be honest, I came here today to cancel my order for that gown.
Cancel your order?
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Don't worry about the materials. I'm more concerned about you. Did something happen, Leanne? Have your plans changed? It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you. I'll take note of the cancellation.
Thank you. I'm really sorry.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now? Wonder why she wouldn't tell us why she was canceling her order.
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel, no one to take you to the ball. I've pretty much heard it all. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from revealing the truth to us. It's best not to pry.
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on Fashion Week, right?
That's true. Come, let's pick up where we left off.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh, could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking. You said I could get a refund if I wasn't satisfied, so that's why I'm here.
Is there something about it that didn't meet your expectations? Are the sleeves too short, or is the color too dark? I can always make those adjustments for you.
No need. You don't have to concern yourself with that. I'd just like that refund, please.
And I'd be happy to process that for you. If you could just tell me the cause of your dissatisfaction.
Is Chiori here? I'd like to return my outfit.
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Another flood? Or an apocalypse, maybe? What does the prophecy say this time? You'll be spared if you get rid of all your clothes? Surely the entire population of Fontaine didn't convene and pick this one day to come and return my clothes. What is going on?
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it, this shop is nothing more than a black market front run by a bunch of dirty criminals.
Please calm down, sir.
What is he talking about?
Haven't you heard? Chioria Boutique has been exposed for having close ties with criminals. It's all over the papers.
And just who is it that dares to throw that accusation around?
Well, you tell us. The fabrics you've got here, they're all sourced from underground factories, aren't they?
I've been transparent about my materials from the very beginning. I've already proved there's nothing wrong with them. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you, then by all means, go ahead and hand over your garments right now. Spare yourself from that flood of yours. Or have you not been convinced of that one just yet?
You...
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no need to ask them why. We'll refund them at the purchase price.
All right.
And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're closed for the day.
Got it.
Chiori.
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. No need to worry about them. I'm sure they'll go away on their own in a few days. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from Fashion Week. The best response right now is to tune it out and focus on finalizing my designs.
If you say so, but Paimon still can't help but worry.
The best way to respond to public skepticism is to let your work speak for itself. There will be no doubt about the quality of my work once my new designs are released. The public just has to see it for themselves.
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh, for the love of... Can a woman not get a moment of peace to do her work? Go on. What's the matter now?
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent word that they'll no longer be able to supply us during Fashion Week.
What? No accessories? Not even the ones we pre-ordered?
Yes, that's what their messenger said.
And what about the models we asked them to book for us?
I think they'll probably pull out as well.
Even the suppliers believe those nasty rumors?
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories means no brooches, no bow ties, things like that?
Not just that. It means no gems, ribbons, gold thread, all the elements that lend life and soul to my designs.
But if you take those away, does that mean you won't be able to make your designs at all?
Alof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk to the supplier myself.
Yeah, and we can vouch for you too. We'll make sure your supplier knows there's nothing wrong with your clothes.
Thank you. In that case, please come with me.
Did you read
By the way, we really are just going to talk, right?
Of course. I wouldn't do anything to one of my business.
Tea here just keeps getting more bitter.
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. The least you could do is allow me a face-to-face conversation.
Straightforward as always, I see. You know, there are certain conventions people usually follow if they want to seek someone's company. Sending a messenger, for example.
And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? Why hire a messenger when I can just explain things in person?
Have you read the papers today?
I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation. Maybe that's something you should consider as well.
You're right. I only subscribe to the Steambird. And most days I never even read the others.
So, these rumors. The Steambird was the one that published them?
No, not at all. They were in some second-rate fashion tabloids.
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news faster than you can read them. Surely a bit of tabloid drama isn't worth cutting off my supply.
You would think that. But this time is different. Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same article at once. They even went so far as to leave a copy in front of every house. That's how I first learned of the rumors.
Every house? That means someone must have been planning this for a very long time.
It seems your rival really pulled out all the stops this time, Shiori. The article was even published alongside a photo of you.
What sort of
A photo of you beating...
Yesterday? Wait, that means...
Ucher again.
Here, I've got a copy. See for yourselves.
Behind the scenes, the true Chioria boutique takes shape. Not a fashion house, but a house of lies. Relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld, the Chioria brand employs illegal competitive tactics to come out on top, giving hope to the evildoers among us that wrongdoing can still prevail, provided you conceal it under the guise of fashion and beauty.
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you to be the clear aggressor.
Yeah, he was the one who started it, that little...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon, but it can't be helped now.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind. Still, I've got to give your rival high marks for effort. They even dug up the fact that my father once served time in the fortress of Meripede.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is like a piece of clothing stained with mud. Once tainted, it can never be washed clean. They claim that most of your clientele are criminals and that those who buy your clothes are just like you. People who silence all dissent with violence.
The absurdity. I don't even know which part to laugh at the most.
Well, it's no laughing matter. Maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe they're not. There's even the possibility that they're just people who happen to commit crimes after buying your clothes. But with the way this article combines fact with rumor, trying to determine the truth is practically an exercise of futility. It's not something people are just going to forget about in a day or two, especially when they've found several people to back up their claims.
Venger, are you sure you won't reconsider? If we go through with the show together, we can defeat them fair and square.
If I were younger, I might have said yes. But I'm no longer that brave young man with nothing to lose. I've got the family business to consider now. I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this, but my daughter is manning the store during Fashion Week, and I don't want her implicated in all of this. She doesn't deserve to be swarmed by all that negative publicity.
I understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori. For old time's sake. Let this Fashion Week go. There's always next year. You just need to wait for all of this to blow over.
You're free to wait things out, Venger. I'll make my own choices.
Have you ever thought maybe that attitude of yours is what's gotten you into all this trouble?
Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paved the way for my success?
Well, fair enough. Then I suppose all there's left to say is, best of luck. As for the models, none of them wanted to be implicated in all of this either.
Understood. Take care.
So, what should we do now?
Without the accessories, I can no longer use my old designs.
How could they do this? They're making things up. The boutique doesn't have anything to do with violent criminals. Can't people tell this is just a bunch of lies?
Public opinion has never been about what's true and what's not. It's about echoing the loudest voice in the room. I should have seen it from the beginning. Uther knows me too well. Everything that happened yesterday was just a trap.
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry excuse for an article? Oh, just thinking about it makes Paimon's blood boil.
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something so defamatory. Unfortunately, not all papers in Fontaine share our same sense of journalistic integrity. Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this baseless slander. I was just about to find some people to interview so that I can write an article to refute all those claims. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who misrepresent and distort the facts.
That's great! With your help, we might be able to get some people back on our side!
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori several times. I know she's not the kind of person that article makes her out to be. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera, Monsieur Verite. Speaking of Miss Chiori, do you know where she went? Alof told me you were all together.
She was just here. Maybe she went over there?
If you ask me, I think Chioria Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' backs.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before.
Really? How was it?
The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure. Makes sense if she regularly deals with criminals, I guess. I've got the chills just thinking about it.
Oh no, we've lost her. Did you hear what all those people were saying? Paimon can't believe they bought all that nonsense.
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews, so the general public hasn't had a chance to really get to know her. It's also true that her way of dealing with things can be a little extreme sometimes.
This is all Tear's fault. Paimon would pick him up and throw him across the room too if she could. Wait a second. You don't think Chiori might have gone looking for him, do you? You know,
that would only make the situation worse for her. I'm sure Miss Chiori knows that too.
You've got a point. Let's just return to the boutique and see if she's there then. Alof, we're back! Oh, who's this?
This is Miss Letitia. She's also here to see Miss Chiori.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the wedding dress yesterday, right? Wait, please don't say you're returning that dress too.
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her. In fact, if there's anything I can do to help her out, I'd be more than willing.
So you've come across that article as well.
Yeah, you probably don't know this, but after I got engaged, I didn't think I'd be able to wear a Chioria dress on my wedding day.
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of mora, but we get by. After he proposed, he took me to Chioria Boutique, and we put down a custom order for a dress. He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori's clothes, and how pretty they were. Being able to wear one of her dresses to my wedding has always been my dream.
And then?
And then, something happened to the business, and we ran into major mora problems. We were able to scrounge up enough to pay off our debts, but it left us without the funds to pay for the dress.
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what was left of the original deposit?
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she asked if something happened, and I told her everything. She heard me out, and then told me not to worry. She assured me that the deposit I paid would be enough for the dress, and that she'd be able to finish making it in time as well. She promised that I'd be able to wear a Chioria dress on my wedding day.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it? I've always known Miss Chiori to be a woman of her word.
It is good. It's just, after I went home yesterday, I couldn't help but take out the dress and try it on. My fiancé happened to walk into the room, and when he saw me, he froze on the spot.
What a shame. He's not supposed to see it until the wedding day.
Well, see, that wasn't actually the issue. He's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business,
So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have cost far more than what we paid.
Huh? So wait, that means...
Yeah. Miss Chihori covered all the costs and held nothing back. The fabric, accessories, beading, construction. It was all of the highest quality.
Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use your story for a piece I'm writing about the boutique. Would you mind going on the record?
Huh? Well, if it would help Miss Chihori out, I wouldn't mind at all.
I think it'd go a long way. Your real experience is more powerful than all those lies combined.
Hey, Alof! Has Chiori come back here since we left?
Huh? I thought you were all together.
Well, we were. If she didn't come back here, then do you know of any other places she could have gone?
Oh, I remember now. There's this one cliff by the sea. Miss Chiori would always go there whenever she was upset.
In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you two can go look for Miss Chiori.
All right, sounds good. Let's go. Chiori?
Uh-huh. How did you know where Alof told you, didn't she?
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there. She wanted to thank you for the dress. So, you see? You don't have to be sad. We'll figure out how to get through this together.
I'm not upset. I just wanted to get some fresh air. Want to sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Don't worry. I'll catch you if you fall.
All right, don't mind if we do.
Well, how does it feel?
This place is pretty great.
Right? It's quiet and open, and far from the relentless critique from fashion commentators and the media. It's just you and the beautiful scenery.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment every once in a while.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I grew up to be so assertive because they spoiled me as a child. I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves. One time, I even climbed over the walls of the Kamisato estate. One of the servants had to physically remove me.
Whoa, Paimon would have never imagined that.
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those vibrant, dazzling fabrics. You know the feeling?
Sorta.
My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tailor. It wasn't long before I had driven away pretty much every master tailor on the archipelago. You could say I really tried their patience.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. Ones that weren't in line with traditional ways of doing things. On top of that, I hated the idea of groveling and making outfits for every arrogant big shot expecting me to be at their beck and call. Anyway, a few incidents later, I soon found myself without a master. Worse, not one shop was willing to hire me. Not even to do grunt work.
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before I left, I swore to all those masters that my brand would one day become renowned all over Teyvat.
Well, that's a great dream to strive towards.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine, a city often referred to as the capital of arts and fashion. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I was living in a small cramped room, but I was finally free to make whatever I wanted. I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would become popular, right? A simple concept, surely. Of course, as I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that simple. Least of all, fashion. Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah, she did mention that dream. I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I ever heard something like that from one of my customers. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream, my work has also become someone else's. Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one day. Time to come up with a way out of this mess.
Ooh, looks like you've got your game face back!
Back? It was never gone to begin with. I did say I wasn't upset, didn't I?
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote that article, and that he hired those treasure hoarders to attack Kirara. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors so we can publish all our findings in the Steambird once we're done.
I don't like duking it out in the press. But if Charlotte's thrown her hat in the ring, I won't stop her either. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located. It might be a good place to start looking for some evidence.
Sounds good! We'll come with! As for Fashion Week, well, there's always next year, right? So there's no need to be too upset.
Huh? When did this become an either-or situation? Find incriminating evidence or participate in Fashion Week. I'm doing both.
But your accessories! Didn't you say your designs were unusable without them?
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell you the truth, even here in Fontaine, every time I see the sea, I can't help but remember Inazuma, and the vow I made in front of those masters. Thinking about all that, I just can't bear to take even one step back. The sea.
What did you just say, Chiori?
The sea. Seashells, coral. I've got it.
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Chiori! Wait, hold up! Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitwal? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Oh, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Leave it to us! These should be enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Chiori, will these do?
Everything looks great. I've also collected a pretty big batch, so we should have enough.
Great! So are we gonna head back now and make some new designs?
Yes, but don't forget, we've got more than just the designs to worry about when we get back. Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories. Next, we'll need to use what we have on hand to create some new outfits.
You mean we have to start from scratch? Will there be enough time?
I should be able to make it, if I skip out on sleep.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving Paimon major deja vu?
Ganyu? Who's that?
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime. Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon otherwise.
Well, I can't argue with you there. One thing's for sure, though. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it work. All this grit and determination. It reminds me of the first fashion week I ever participated in.
What else can we help with?
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is tear up all the outfits currently on display.
You got it! Wait, what did you just say?
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had no savings to speak of. Just a few dozen yards of fabric and a dream. I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from Inazuma, and I used the scraps to make my entries for the show. I used the larger pieces for the base fabric, and the smaller pieces for accessories. If it worked back then, why not now? We can also repurpose some of the ready-to-use accessories in the shop as well.
But you worked so hard on all these outfits!
I know. That's why I refuse to let it all go to waste. I'm not going to let them win, even if it takes everything I've ever made and more.
Okay, then. Here goes nothing.
No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, if anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on a normal day, I'd probably toss them into the sewer. Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions.
Propagate! Scatter!
Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you all right? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. What happened to your shop? Who did this? Those monsters. Slandering you in the papers wasn't enough for them, was it? They even sent people to wreck your shop. Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time the Spina di Rosula return the favor.
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, 'cause you see,
huh?
Ugh, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the Traveler to tear up the outfits. We need all the fabric and accessories we can get.
Oh, so that's what happened. I guess I got a bit ahead of myself just now. Back to what you were doing, everyone. You can all just pretend like I didn't say anything.
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation. No one's gonna orchestrate some conspiracy to take down one of my friends and get away with it.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course. Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town. All of the Spina di Rosula's formal wear is custom-tailored here.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. That's why I didn't ask you in the first place, silly. Plus, with how much your intel has helped us out in the past, to the Spina, you're more of an intelligence agency than a fashion boutique.
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway, we both know why I'm here. Tell me, how can the Spina be of service to you?
If it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing work? I'll need all the help I can get if I'm going to finish these outfits over the next few days.
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. I just knew you wouldn't be intimidated into withdrawing from this year's show. When are you going to get started? I can help with sewing, too.
Actually, there's something else I'd like to ask of you.
Ask away. I'm all ears.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette? I'll need their help as well.
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! What happened to the boutique? Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the front page of the Steambird tomorrow.
Not this again.
I believe this cat belongs to me.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
Just take a breather, you two. Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you. At least for now.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
No. It's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society. Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime. Well, this complicates things.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me. She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case. If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in, if no one else comes to claim her, that is. We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. You're the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat? If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here.
It belongs to my friend.
Go on, Bonnie.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
Yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic.
But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards, or some similar organization.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here, Bonnie was her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation. A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird, so I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him. The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that he would show himself, I had to follow up on the lead. A new kind of illegal drug, imitation synth. We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking for a way to get their next fix. And criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth. Needless to say, a small-scale market opened up very quickly. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their sales overseas before those measures could kick in. We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that. He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research...
Lefebvre.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with... At first, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal... It was only later that we realized the coat of arms. Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into...
That's not possible, actually. The Lefebvre family has been gone for a long time.
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family has engaged in all manner of crimes. Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart... There could be a chance if I take Bonnie back to the Guards with me. I have to admit, well, I've got some other leads to follow.
It's nothing. I'm fine. It's just... the head of the Lefebvre family. He was the eminent person who kidnapped me all those years ago. It was at a dinner party. Someone tricked me into boarding the Lefebvre family carriage. Whoever it was, they took me back to their home. But before anything worse could happen, Father intervened. Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated the fall of the Lefebvre family. That's what led Lenny and I to join the House of the Hearth. After all these years. I never thought I'd hear the Lefebvre name again. Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I was just thinking about Lenny. He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for days on end, consumes himself with some secret investigation, and then, out of the blue, pushes me to do that acting job. Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one I drew from that deck of cards was part of his plan all along.
He must have asked Fremenade to help him out. In any case, I know he's hiding something from me. He's really pulled out all the stops this time. It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though. Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever. You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way. Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode, and then we'll head out. A little bit of both, perhaps. For the most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. I'm just not sure what. Okay, I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once that's done, we can head out.
Lynette! Great, you're both here!
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. We were just about to go find Miss Chiori. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances. The time has come, it seems, for us to return the favor.
Oh, perfect! She was the one who sent us!
In that case, I assume that there's something we can do to help. Just say the word and we'll take care of it.
Okay, so it's like this.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Paimon's glad to hear it! Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all the bad stuff Uterra's been doing. Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check in with her again once she's done with all the new designs.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it? Will she be able to make the deadline?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Uterra fair and square at the show, and then defeat him in the court of public opinion.
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second?
Yeah, something like that.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision. We'll go make some preparations. See you at the venue in 2 days.
All right, we're counting on you. Okay, then let's also do as Chiori said and meet up with her at Uterra's factory in 2 days. We'll get... Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have a hard time making all those new outfits for the show.
Yeah.
I haven't gone camping in ages.
I'll take a guess.